Welcome to another edition of Yank Your Mets. It's good to be back. It's been a while, and a lot has happened. I'm your host, Phil Wolf. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Chad Vossen. How are you, Chad? Good to see you.
I've been better from a Mets perspective.
Yeah, well, let's get into it because obviously we want to talk about all of the things that have been happening with your team and what's going on with the Yankees. When are they going to make a move? But let's start with the Mets. Just initial reactions. Obviously, Alonso and Diaz are gone. Two fan favorites. What was your initial reaction?
Bewilderment, or like it was one of those things where you knew it was possible that Pete would leave. He did. I think of the two, Diaz hurts the most or makes the least amount of sense. That's the one that's why, like, really, you're going to squabble? It's 3 years. Like, what else are you going to get out there? And to me, it's like, is on the open market in today's game, in the past 10 years, and I'm not going to evoke, I know the guy's not Mariano Rivera, but as far as the closest, few people are, aside from 1 year, he's as close as you're going to get as a sure thing as a save. And you're going to let him go to the Dodgers, the 1 weak link that team has, and he's going to become, he's their closer now? Like, come on. And you're trying to tell me that you're trying to win the World Series and you're going to let Diaz walk for a couple $1 million? And I think one of the things that, there's the rumors that they never told him about Devin Williams, or, not that they should or whatever, but still, if you're going to bring in like another closer, you should probably talk to your closer who's a free agent and be like, hey, here's what we're thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That has to be mentioned.
Has to. And say, don't worry, he's our setup guy, plus backup in case you don't want to come here. But we need to do what we need to do. The Diaz thing makes absolutely zero sense to me, and I think is the most frustrating part of the offseason. Pete, fine. You don't want to go 5 years, fine. But here, once again, he has the chance to be a David Wright, and he has the chance to ride out his career as a New York Met. And to be honest, I mean, all the comps are Schwarber, and Schwarber's what, like 3 years older than him? He's not going to break down. He's not a player that relies on agility and speed. And, so he's probably not breaking down as dramatically in year 4 or 5. He's probably at the end of it going to hit 20 shots and 80 RBIs, which ain't too bad.
Yeah.
For a first baseman.
End of your career.
No.
Yeah.
Dude's going to hit 35, 35, 30, 25, 20. I would pay $155 million for that. Fine. The guy's not great at defense. He's phenomenal at picks. The only thing the guy can't do is throw. And you're not paying Pete.
It's kind of like a big thing though, but it's not everything. It's not everything. It gets wrapped up into his defensive abilities overall. He's not the best fielder. You mentioned, pop-ups, throwing. It's just kind of the whole thing, but you're right.
He's okay at pop-up. He's gotten better. He hasn't I mean, come on. Are you who is his replacement? Well, I know who I don't want to answer that question because I'm optimistic that things will change and Polanco will not be the answer.
I can't see that being a long-term solution.
It can't be. Any first baseman you bring in is going to have holes. He's not going to be the perfect replacement. There's no such thing as a perfect player. I mean, even if you want to call Say Soto, as amazing as he is, they can't wait to get him out of the field. The guy can't field.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess first off, my condolences. I know this is really a tough time for Mets fans, and I agree with you on the Pete versus Edwin thing. On Edwin, just quickly, like he was the one I think that hurts the team the most. He was clearly the one they wanted back. They tried $3 million, not enough to like make or break a deal. I think at that point it just becomes Edwin Díaz either didn't want to really come back. The Dodgers were, attractive enough, or the Dodgers said like, look, if that's your deal, we'll top it. You got to take it though. You can't go back to the Mets. And maybe there was something like that had been worked out. Who knows? The point is he's gone, and it's harder to find someone, I think, to do what Diaz does than to find someone to do what Pete does. Pete obviously has been the homegrown guy, so that hurts on like a sentimental level, and that's tough. But like, I think it'll be easier to replace Pete than Diaz. And I think you're right. They should have had a conversation with him, bringing Devin Williams in. I mean, it's a little bit of a lack of respect, and, probably soured the situation right there and maybe led to his decision, to go to LA. But I also think that, as I was listening to you describe Edwin Díaz, you could have been also talking about Devin Williams, because minus the 1 year, he was as good as a sure thing for almost the same stretch. And I know it's like, what have you done for me lately? And the last time we saw Devin Williams, he wasn't great, although he ended the year very strong, and which is why I wanted him back as a Yankees fan. But if you're going to lose Diaz, like, Devin Williams is a guy that I would say I feel more confident bringing him in than like even a guy like Bednar, who was brilliant for us last year. You just don't know if he's going to repeat that. He had struggles in Pittsburgh. Closers are up and down. They're just like this weird beast, right? And so like, Devin Williams finishing the year strong, doing it in New York in high leverage situations. If that's enough, it was enough for me. It was enough for David Stearns because I signed him, and you get him at a discount, next to what you offer Diaz.
You're telling me the guy I watched give up a series defining home run, you're going to try to sell me on Devin Williams?
Yeah.
No.
Look,
no.
That hit, first of all, I mean, as bad as it looked, and, the subsequent season after that, obviously it doesn't look great. The optics aren't great.
No.
However, he has been so dominant, and for what you're paying him, and you've seen other closers go now too, and they're getting more annual than Devin Williams was, that or more. And Devin Williams has a better track record than most of these guys. I mean, if you look at their numbers over the last 5 seasons, Devin Williams' ERA has been lower than Diaz, and that's as bad, even with Devin Williams' horrible season. And Edwin Díaz actually had the one bad year too, where he had an inflated ERA, was hurt all of 2023. So there was nothing there at all. But Diaz's numbers have been like elite, and then kind of middle of the road to elite. And then, had the one blow up year, then elite again last year. I think, and Williams, look, sub 2 ERAs for the last 3 years.
I don't want to hear it.
I know it's hard to stomach because you've seen what Diaz can do.
I don't care what Devin Williams can do against the Reds in fucking June. I don't give a shit. That guy had the only time the spotlight was on him, and he lost the series. I'm sorry.
No,
the only time
I can't argue. I can't argue.
And you're going to tell me he's coming to New York where he's already failed, and now he's going to be the Mets closer and succeed?
It's going to be the Mets. It's a little different. I mean, if we're being honest, look, and I'm not saying he's going to be the best closer. I'm not guaranteeing something. I just think if you're looking at the numbers, and this is what David Stearns is doing, if you're looking at the numbers, you have to feel better about bringing someone like Devin Williams in over some other guy who has had maybe just 1 or 2 years and has been kind of like a, low 3 ERA closer. Devin Williams, when he's on, he is elite. So I'm just saying he could surprise you. Surprise you. And I know you don't want to be surprised. You want to be mad right now. And I get it.
I don't know. I don't want to sit here and be mad. Phil, if you're all right, in a weird world, it's game 7 and the Yankees can pull anybody from the league out of their bullpen and close out a 1 or 2 run lead, and you're winning. Are you calling up Devin Williams, or are you calling up Edwin Díaz?
Well, given the choice, I'm taking Diaz.
The Mets have the choice.
But that's not. that's not the decision that Mendy's going to have to make. Because he doesn't have the choice between the two.
Diaz is gone.
Right. If they're on the same team, I'm taking Diaz. But like, given, that Devin Williams is stepping in, look, if every pitcher got judged off of what they, games that they've blown, even if they're in big spots, we wouldn't trust anybody. Even Mariano Rivera lost a World Series for the Yankees. Like, did we stop going back to him because he had one bad outing? I don't know. Again,
the problem
it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I would be more confident. And I wanted him back. See, I was mad when you got him because I wanted him back. I was like, he was money at the end of the year. He was high lev dev again. Bring him back. He had the attitude. He was showing us what he could be, and it wasn't enough because he didn't do it for a long enough stretch. But he was so good down the stretch, and he pitched well in the postseason.
I don't care.
And it wasn't enough for us to sign him. So I'm sad he's gone. Obviously you're upset you got him, but, I think he'll prove you wrong.
I mean, he's the appetizer where I was like, fuck, we're not getting Diaz. Cause there's no way Diaz is going to sit there and let that sort of creep into, like, he has the heir apparent or whatever. That can't be comfortable for closers. Yeah.
And that's why you have that discussion. It's like, are you okay with this?
And clearly he wasn't.
He wasn't.
It was a lack of respect. And then you have Diaz's brother who spent, I don't know, like a month or two with the Dodgers. He was like, oh my God, it's a world-class organization. He's like, you know what? And they won two World Series.
Great.
Let's go there. And they need a closer. Let's go there. So I'm sitting here and I watch Diaz come through time and again in the postseason when it matters. An inning and 2/3 in that game against the Brewers. The game against the Braves, I think he had two. Like, the guy, I mean, I would have a heart attack watching him do it. He was kind of like John Franco, except he actually came through the majority of the time.
The majority.
I mean, the guy proved himself that he can win and close out big games, that he can win and close out big series. He would step up. He would give you 2 innings when you needed it. And he was doing it in New York. Once he got his shit together, once he brought Timmy Trumpets out of retirement and was like, oh yeah, I'm in New York. I should probably stop using whatever BS song he was using. And Timmy Trumpets came out. That guy was on. He was the best closer in the game.
Devastating.
Yeah. And still don't understand how he can win reliever of the year and not be an all-star, but okay, whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Case in point, that one hurts. With Pete, it's just the era that we're playing in, man. And I think Stearns knows what he wants to do. Probably, happy he got Soto, and that's the piece he's building around. And it's going to be trades because he has shown reluctance in, investing in a value starting pitcher. And so we'll see what he has to do there.
You can't sit here and tell me I value defense, and then go and sign Juan Soto. And I just don't buy it. And the whole, I just don't understand the disrespect from the Mets. I don't know if it's Stearns. I don't know if it's Cohen. I don't understand. You have a guy whose personality, demeanor, and he means so much to the Mets, and you're just going to be like, nah, we're good. And like, he never even got an offer.
No offer. I know that. And that's what's the most surprising, even considering how sour things were last year and the reluctance on the contract. He got the 2-year with an opt out. We all knew he was going to just opt out after one really good year. I think we all suspected him to have a good year. It was clear then they didn't really want him. And so, like, if he was going to opt out, you just had a feeling. I had a feeling. I think Mets fans wanted him back. I mean, we spoke to Keith Hernandez. He wanted him back. But even Keith said, like, the number 1 and 2 priorities, sign Pete and sign Diaz, like, get them coming back. And neither of those things happened.
The Mets lost it was the starting pitching. It was not Nimmo. It was not Pete. I mean, Pete was the guy that, even against who the fuck did we lose to? The Marlins. It's always the goddamn Marlins. God.
Yeah.
even in that game against the Marlins, when he came up with the bases loaded, he drilled the ball. Like, okay, so they caught it, whatever. He didn't, backwards K. Like, it wasn't a Beltran situation, but like, Pete was not the problem. Yeah. He just wasn't.
Yeah. I don't know that Stearns necessarily saw him as the problem. I think it's just a matter of how he views the players he wants on his team. I don't think he would argue that what Pete did wasn't valuable. It's just a numbers game with them. And this will segue well into Brian Cashman because they play the same game. I mean, they're 1A and 1B, these guys. And, Pete was, super impact player, and I agree with you. I don't think he would have like broken down because there's just not a lot of impact on his body. He's, he's not diving all over the place. He's not a speedster. He's not sliding and, so
he's not stealing bases.
He's not stealing bases.
We've seen him run.
We've seen him run. So I agree with you. I don't think he would be, you got 3 years left to Pete and then he's going to really decline. I just think, general managers and franchises are looking for flexibility and they want to play the matchups. And Pete in that regard is kind of a one trick pony. And he's like, a slugging right-handed hitter. And it's as good as he was last year. And he did improve. He just didn't fit Stearns' mold or even the mold of the modern baseball player. He's kind of a player out of time. And I like that. I mean, it's because you don't see that enough. You had your sluggers, then you had your speedsters, and now managers want both. They want Jazz Chisholms. They want Juan Sotos. They want Francisco Lindors. And it's like, well, not everybody could be that. Aaron Judge. I mean, you know what I mean? And it's hard. If that's the way if you're looking through it like that lens, it becomes difficult to justify even 5 years, 150 mil, given all of the resources that they have. And that's unfortunate. And it cost the Mets, a dear fan favorite player. And we'll see what happens. But the rumors are exciting. I mean, Tatis and Skubal. I mean, Buster Olney said the Mets are probably in better position than anyone to land Skubal via trade. And if they got Tatis, a guy still in his 20s, hard to believe. Tatis and Soto. Anywhere. You don't think so?
No.
San Diego's there's some drama going on there. They don't know if the owners are going to sell like that. That is not a franchise that I think people are just like falling over and tripping themselves to play for. I think they tried it. It didn't work. They let Cease go to the Blue Jays. I mean, I think they're looking to, shed. And so if Tatis reunites with Soto and you end up with Skubal, that is a very dangerous team. And I think I would hope that Mets fans, prospects look a lot better than they start believing in this team because Tatis and Soto together is lethal. And then McClain and Skubal at the top of that rotation, even if and you got one of the deepest farm systems, like if you're going to do it now, you're probably not going to sign Skubal. Maybe he does. Maybe he, gives him $400 million and he's like your high end starter that like the one starter you're, going to pay. You still have your young guns up and coming, young controllable starting pitching, McClain, Tom.
How much is that is going to get Skubal and or Tatis though?
How much money?
No, is Sproat's gone? Like Sproat won't be in the mix. Tom
right.
Won't be
one of them will go back to San Diego for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
and
probably
the other
like
will go to get the
yeah. But I mean, people had been speculating that he was going to be moved anyway. But if you're building around McClain and Skubal, let's take the only guy
that can go 6 innings and trade his ass.
But he might have the only trade value at the same time.
Yeah, of course. But like, come on.
But no, they're looking for young control with pitching. It'll be a McClain or a Sproat. And if you had to give up one of those, who would it be?
Sproat, hands down.
Sproat. Yeah. I'm sorry, not McClain or Sproat. If you had to give up Tong or Sproat, who do you give up?
Sproat.
Still Sproat. Okay. You keep Tong, give up Sproat. If you're keeping McClain and you got Skubal and then you have Tong or Sproat, that's a very nice top of the rotation. And then you're filling in your bullpen. You still have moves to make. Look,
it is, but I mean, look, like if we're talking about McClain and like, okay, you want to hear a Mets fan? Like, okay, so there's the chance. Is McClain, what do you have? Like 8 starts? Okay, great. Yeah. Just flip back to 2015. We had Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard, and Jacob deGrom. I mean, people are basically saying this guy's a sure thing because of 8 games that this guy's locked in to be Jacob deGrom, when probably law of averages says he might be more of a flash in the pan like Syndergaard and or Harvey. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, we've got our 1A locked in because this guy had 8 amazing games. I've seen this before, not too long ago. And the one dude that who came through and was the best out of all of them was the guy that no one was paying attention to. And he is until he threw his first major league game against you and did pretty well.
It did okay.
It did pretty well.
Yeah, look, you can go the Dodger route and just sign a bunch of starters, and that proved to be effective. I don't think they're going to do that.
No,
but
we do have a bunch of starters. Yeah. They're not like all-stars.
They're not all-stars.
We have 6 or 7 starters at the moment.
If you get Skubal and Tatis, though, I think the mood changes dramatically. And
of course,
all of a sudden the Mets go from this team has only gotten worse to we're probably going to win the division. Skubal and Tatis would shift the balance of power in the NL East. You would be favorites. That is a huge haul and something that I think, they don't make moves like letting Alonso walk and being comfortable with letting Diaz go if they don't have something else in the can. Because
that's my only saving grace.
Stearns, well, you have to believe it because Stearns and Cohen are not about to start rebuilding, right? They're trying to build a team to compete, and they can't look at this team and say this team is ready to compete. Not when the Dodgers and the Blue Jays and you got all these other teams out there. So something big is happening. It's just a matter of getting it done and what's it going to be. And the rumors all point to Tatis and Skubal. I mean, that would be insane. That would be a huge deal. Huge deal. But we can talk about it when it hasn't happened yet. I know, but
it's Mets fans and they want everything. And if those two things come to fruition, spectacular. Until they do, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, can you imagine? I know we just lost Pete and I know we just traded Nimmo and I know we don't have Diaz, but yeah. And then you know what's going to happen? Then we're going to get to the wild card game and then Devin Williams is going to blow the game.
No.
With Tatis, with Skubal. Skubal's going to pitch a gem. Devin Williams is going to serve up a 3-run shot. End of series. Go
Stranger things have happened. Last thing on the Mets, I think this happened. This is one of the first moves, but Marcus Semien is going to be really good for this clubhouse. I think he's just a ball player's ball player, does everything the right way, has won World Series, a World Series anyway, and is, former All-Star, multi-time All-Star. So I think, yeah. Okay. Look,
I'm done with old stars.
This is not, this is not a long-term solution. I don't think they're looking at it, but in order to turn the page and get some veteran leadership in here and just kind of clean things up defensively, absolutely Marcus Semien, and knows how to handle the bat. He's going to be a top of the order guy, could hit in the middle of the order probably if you wanted to.
If he's healthy.
And that's, you need,
he's 35 now.
Like that.
So he's age 36 season. So I love 35-year-old athletic second baseman. Yeah, let's go get more.
Yeah. But
Sorry.
Cano was cheating. So.
Jorge Polanco wasn't.
That's true.
Oh, and Tatis, he wasn't either.
Yeah, but he still played well. I mean, Cano got caught and never was the same player. Tatis got suspended and came back stronger. I mean, he was better. As much as I love Cano, and I did love Cano.
All right, so now that we've gone through my therapy session,
want to talk about the Yanks a little bit?
What is there to talk about? What have you guys been up to? Everything.
Well, we re-signed Ahmed Rosario.
Oh,
so there's that. I am also just patiently waiting for something to happen. Whatever we do, it's not going to be as big as what the Mets do. I mean, our biggest priority is Cody Bellinger. We got to get Cody back. He is no longer a Yankee. And so by re-signing him, I guess that's like an acquisition, but it's like, this is the team we were last year and we need Cody to get back to that point. He just fits the team too well. I also think that he is, I like his style of play. Defensively, he just fills so many holes. We talked about flexibility in the matchups. Like you put him in left, you put him in right, you put him in first and center field. He does them all at an elite level. You just need Cody Bellinger back in this lineup. And I think the Yankees are trying to wait for that perfect deal because Boris is, wants max dollars. And of course, that's what Boris wants. But, I would be fine with 7 years, 200 mil. That doesn't seem unreasonable for a guy who does what he does defensively. And he hit 30 home runs. He's 29, but he can hit 30 home runs. He's a 30 home run, 100 RBI kind of player. And the defense that he plays, this doesn't feel, if you sign him for 7 years, obviously it's not ideal, but I don't think I think you could get 6 strong years out of him and then you're left with 1 year on a bad contract. I think that's fair to me.
Is he 30?
Yeah, he is 30.
Okay.
Yeah, July 13th. So that's a contract I would feel comfortable with, just given what he means to this team. I have not been, I think I can't speak for other Yankee fans, but I haven't been this serious. I haven't wanted a free agent signing this bad from a guy who was, played for us last year since Robinson Cano. And Cano was,
since Devin Williams.
Since Devin Williams. I wanted him back, but if he walked, I would have been fine. Excuse me. But yeah, since Cano, I can't think of anyone since Cano where I was like, we got to have this guy back. And he was a homegrown guy. I think I feel more strongly about Cody Bellinger. So
more strongly than you did with
Cano.
Was a free
Yeah, I feel he's way more important to this team than Cano was to the team that he left. And Cano signed max contract. I'm not suggesting that Cody gets that, but if you're looking for the perfect deal, I don't think it's going to happen. And you just especially after a year where we let Soto walk, you cannot let Cody walk. That would just be.
Does. He can't.
You don't think he does?
No, it doesn't.
I don't think he does either, but we haven't signed him. So something's going on.
Well, it's Boris. I can't stand that guy. But anyway, Bellinger, even in coming, he was I always wanted to be a Yankee.
I know. It's a perfect fit.
There's no, to me as an partial observer, I think he comes, there's no way he doesn't come back.
I mean, the Mets fans are also, he dined with Steve Cohen the other day. I think Cohen picked him up in his helicopter and took him out to dinner or whatever.
Yeah. How well did that work with Sasaki or whatever?
Yeah,
Cohen goes out to dinner with a lot of people. I would not worry about it. Plus, if Steve Cohen offers you hey, you want to go to lunch? You're going to be like, yes. I'm going to sign with the Yankees, but yes.
Yes. Lunch on.
Pick me up in
Daddy
your helicopter.
Cohen.
Done. Uncle Stevie, here's my address.
Here's my address. Meet you on the roof.
Yeah. Tell me what heliport do I go to?
I hope you're right. I can't imagine this team without him.
Where does Bellinger want? If I think Bellinger, Cano, how old was he? He wasn't 30 when.
No, Cano was
he was younger,
still,
26, 7.
Yeah, I think maybe not 26. He was probably 28.
Early.
Yeah, 27, 28.
I just feel like Bellinger is at a different part of his career. He's been in New York. He's played there. He wanted to be a Yankee. You guys had a good run last year. At this point in his career. He didn't win a World Series, though, did he?
Mm-hmm. He's got a title.
All right. Then he's whatever. Where did he win it? Texas?
Dodgers, LA.
Yeah. They did? Oh, that's the 20.
Yeah.
2020. That's right. They won that.
Mm-hmm. Where he popped his shoulder out celebrating after a home run.
That's true. I forgot about that.
He's jumps up to him, boom. He's oh.
It's Edwin Díaz jumping up and down for joy and
look, Cody's not the same player he was. He's a former MVP. He was MVP in 2017 when Judge should have won it in the American League. He fits the team so well. I think you're right. I think he wants to be a Yankee. I don't think he wants to change teams again. He was just in Chicago for a little while. Now he's in New York, and now he's going to stay in New York but play for a different team. I think he wants to settle somewhere. I think he likes New York. His father was a Yankee. I look at him and I feel like he's been a Yankee forever. That's the feeling. I feel like he fits so well.
He's a Yankee.
And so, like, how do you let that guy go? Of course, you could have said the same thing about Pete Alonso, but like Cody Bellinger fits the Yankees so well. He's healthy. He does it all, and he needs to be in this lineup. Now, there's a lot of other things we need to do. We can't just get Cody and say, we're back. I think we need to borrow a page from the Dodgers playbook and kind of stack the pitching staff a little bit and go out and get another high-end starter. We're starting the year without Carlos Rodon. We're starting the year without Garrett Cole. Clark Schmidt is going to start hurt. Max Fried will be our number one to start the year. Of course, we have Schlittler. So like, I'm happy with 1 and 2, but we don't know what Cole's going to be when he comes back. Like, Cole's getting up there. Tommy John, he's out a year and a half. Like, do we just assume he's going to magically come back and be the Garrett Cole of old? Like, and he's a dog, but like
he will be as good. He may not give you the depth that he did, but he'll be good.
I hope.
When does he come back?
It'll be like June, July, I think.
Okay.
It'll be like middle of the year, maybe May. I'd have to go look at it again. But he's not.
He's going to be on an innings limit, though.
He'll be on an innings limit. They're not going to push him too much. But there's question marks, right? And Schlittler over the course of a full year, what is Schlittler going to do? Is he going to be the same guy? What makes what the Dodgers did so brilliant, it was just like you have a safety net, and an incredible safety net of all-star pitchers who, by the way, also came in relief. They were like, no bullpen, no problem. Sasaki, you're our closer. And it was just like the most dominant formula. And what strikes me about that is like a couple of things. One, like, they have a ton of money so they can go and get those things, and the Yankees no longer do that. And I wish they did. But two, it's not enough just to have the money, because they pick the players and they're filling holes and they're getting it done. They're executing. Sasaki fills in as the closer. Yamamoto comes in and pitches game 7 after he just pitched. I mean, everywhere they plug these guys in, they succeeded. Mookie Betts, you want to play shortstop? You're our shortstop. It's like the guys they get aren't just the stars of the game and the best players in the league. They do everything. And
they pitch and they hit.
They pitch and hit. I mean, but that is like, people are looking at the Dodgers and saying, that's the winning formula. Maybe we can't spend $1 billion on 2 players, but they have the right methodology behind how they draft the players they're looking for. And Cashman's been trying to do it forever. They just haven't won because the players haven't executed. He just hasn't been as good at it. And the Dodgers right now are better than anybody. But Stearns is also looking at his team that way. Cashman's looking at it that way. We've made some minor league signings. We got Ernest so-and-so Jr., Ernesto. And I'm like, I think he came from Milwaukee. Looks like a good bat, had some stretches in the minors, but is he going to be our first baseman? Like,
yes.
Is platooning with Rice down the stretch? Like, who knows? And Rice playing first base. Like, we're very, lefty heavy. Which, 2 years ago we were too righty heavy. So we've kind of overcompensated. Now we got to get more right-handed bats. If I had my way, I would ship Jazz. I think I've said that before. They're listening to trade offers. So obviously they feel like they could part ways with him. That's a move I would love to see made. And,
what are you getting back? What do you want back for Jazz? Are you trying to do addition by subtraction, or like?
That's hard to argue when he was so offensively skilled. I think it's just personality, really. I don't need another 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases guy. I want, solid defender, higher average, less strikeouts. I'll tell you who I want. I want Gleyber Torres. That's who I want back. It's not going to happen, but he's a better bat to ball guy than Jazz, and we need more bat to ball guys.
But if you trade Jazz, do you want like major league ready, or do you want prospects? Like guys that have already, like, where are you on the spectrum there?
I think we would need probably a little mix of both. Like, we're not getting maybe star power like Jazz, but maybe someone coming up in the system who's almost major league ready. Cause Jazz is still so young, so like,
how old is he? Sorry.
It's like 27, Jazz Chisholm.
There it is.
27.
Like the Stewie feet. He's only 27.
He's only 27.
I feel like he's been around forever. Did he come up when he was like 15 or something?
He came up when he was.
He came up when he was 9.
Oh man. But look, all the talent in the world, I just don't think fits this team. It goes back to fit. I think he's got a ton of energy, obviously a ton of talent. I want serious players who are not going to like make it about them and, just be more consistent. I mean, there's really not a ton of flaws in his game. It's really more about fit. It's more about just getting someone in here who is just a bit more professional, for lack of a better word,
more Yankee.
More Yankee, and like, I'm sure he's like loved in the clubhouse. I don't think he's a bad clubhouse guy. It's nothing. It's not like, I don't think he's bad for the team. I just think there are better fits.
Agree. There's something about Jazz Chisholm to me that just makes he feels immature. And like, I love that, like, Paul O'Neill was kind of had that same sort of like, we'll take down any, but his was more of like a focused intensity. Jazz
so
is
focused.
Just,
oh my gosh.
Jazz was just kind of like, blah, I'm just going to like say shit. And
right. He loses focus. It's like when he starts arguing calls, the at bat is lost.
Yeah,
he's done. He's been taken completely out of the game, and you've heard Boone scream at him from the dugout, like, "Focus up, Jazz! Focus up, Jazz!" Like, because he just knows, and you can't have that. Like, look, baseball's hard enough when you're focused and you're on your game. Like, you can't give these teams an edge if they know they're getting under your skin and they see you hooting and hollering and you're talking all this smack. Like, they got you. They got you.
But, like, and think about, like, you're talking about Boone, so Boone's sitting there, he's having a conversation with, who's your bench coach or your pitching coach? Or
Brad Osmus. Pitching coach Matt Blake.
And he's in mid conversation, and then there's Jazz at bat, and he's doing whatever.
Blah, blah,
he's got to stop this, and now we're like, it's just too much to worry about.
It's too much, man. I'm not, you can argue calls. It's not the fact that he argues them. It's how he argues them. And it just makes it about him. It's like, I get the frustration. Yeah. It's like the hardest game in the world, man. You can't expect people to not argue. But you just with him, you just know he's lost. He's lost it then. And he talked a lot of smack and he didn't show up in the playoffs. He's had 2 years to do it. He's had incredible regular seasons. And, I don't want to make this a Jazz bashing thing, but like, we're talking about fit. There's better options. I wanted Polanco too. I would have taken Polanco.
I wanted Polanco as the super utility guy. I did not want him as my starting first base.
Sure.
At all.
I'd be open to maybe moving Volpe to second, getting him out of shortstop, getting him like out of the limelight, and then finding another shortstop to fill that void full time, and maybe Volpe comes to life. This is the weird thing about baseball. It's like sometimes all it takes is a position change. Sometimes that's all it takes. Gleyber Torres was the best second baseman in the league. He hit 38 home runs one year. 38. He hasn't come close to that since, but he was unstoppable that year. They put him at shortstop and he was never the same player. He didn't want to play shortstop. He filled in when their other shortstop was injured. When Didi was injured, he filled in nicely and played well. So they got rid of Didi. God, I miss Didi. Didi got hurt, Gleyber filled in, played well, and then they let Didi go and then just assumed that he could assume full-time shortstop duties. And he was never the same player. And they moved back to second, and he just got, from there, it was lost. He was kind of in his head.
That's the sort of the Jeter curse. Like, there's just when somebody's so good for so long and such an institution, and then you're automatically going to be it's Jeter's position.
No, it's Jeter's now. Yeah. Who you gonna, and when you're same thing with your closer, right? Like, no one's going to be able to fill Mariano's shoes, and the expectation of who these, players that have come before and all of that is just, it's immense. It's immense.
Maybe I'll give Armando Benitez a call. Maybe we can get him as a closer. I don't want that. I don't want Devin Williams. I can't. And now it's Rogers was the other guy that we were supposed to buy.
Yeah.
And we're talking about making trades. How many of those trades that Stearns has made, how many have worked out? Like his Deadline deals were a disaster, like unmitigated disaster.
Awful. Yeah,
so
I mean,
now you're telling me,
Verlander
let's make a whole bunch of trades. Okay, great. That Rogers trade was absolute dog do.
Yeah. Turns out Scherzer still had something left. Verlander, not so much, but
I would rather have Verlander at this point than Scherzer, though.
Maybe.
Let's sign them both. We need rotation. Let's just sign them both, and then we can have the Max and Justin days, and we'll just put them. You go 3 and he goes 3. You guys will piggyback throughout, and then we'll bring in Devin Williams to blow the game.
Good stuff. So what's it going to take for you to change your tune on this Mets offseason? Who do you want to get now out of who's left? And where do you stand there?
Who's left? I honestly,
Kyle Tucker. We haven't mentioned Kyle Tucker. Do you want him? You could use him, move Soto to the left, put Kyle Tucker in right. That's a pretty devious outfield.
Devious. I mean, I don't know. I just want to Pete. Just give me Pete and Edwin. Sure, Kyle Tucker, I guess. To me,
are you giving him $400 million?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So what are we going to do? Some mega deal for Kyle Tucker and sign him to, I lost my little piece.
Mega deal for Kyle Tucker?
Yeah. So what are we doing? We're signing Kyle Tucker to some mega deal that, he's 30, isn't he? And
29, I think.
And I didn't watch him every day. So it wasn't like watching Soto in right field, but I've heard he's lost a step or isn't quite as good. And that's the last thing I want to do is Kyle Tucker, we can put him in right and slide Soto to left. And then 2 years from now, Kyle Tucker is a defensive issue.
Yeah.
And Kyle Tucker doesn't blow my hair back. Nobody really even Scooble. It's what are we giving up? We're going to give up Alvarez and Beatty or whatever the hell schemes. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, Alvarez would be an interesting one. And you had floated the idea that they might be looking at trading for Lindor, which would be crazy.
Trading Lindor would be the dumbest thing you could do.
I know, but people have said that right now Soto's probably the only untouchable. Soto and McLean.
No, he should be the first to go. I've been on this train. No, Soto, get rid of I never wanted him. I still don't want him. And rephrase my question to Keith. If we eat half that contract, I swear to God, I would be so excited. I just, fine. I'm on an island. I don't care. We brought that guy in and he just, it was the 90s all over for me. I said it then. I didn't want him. And here we are. Look at that. We missed the goddamn playoffs because we couldn't beat the fucking Marlins when it mattered.
Or the Reds. Oh, man.
I never wanted Soto and just, look at this. We're having clubhouse issues. Shocker. And then you get rid of we signed Soto and then we have to get rid of Pete. Nimmo's gone. We got to get rid of Diaz. I don't want Soto. I haven't seen, a ton of Nationals fans down here. And they're all you're going to love this guy. I would just wait until he's on your team. He's been on my team and I still haven't been all that blown back by him. I have not seen him hit. Where's that clutch hit I've been waiting for? Sure, the guy hit some home runs and stuff, but I didn't really see anything. He never came through. I don't want him.
Yeah.
You had him. You were you're going to love him. I'm wildly indifferent. I'm just watching that guy run in fucking circles out in right field.
Yeah, look, he hasn't been the cleanest defender, but I think, it took him a while to get off the ground in New York, and I think he's sort of found his rhythm, and I expect bigger things next year. I think he's going to be even better than he was. But I'm the optimist, I think. So, yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. I think there's big moves on the horizon for the Mets. I'm still waiting for a move in the Bronx. And so
this is all right. Can we
a week from now we could be talking about something completely different.
If you need to go, we can that's fine. But or maybe we make this next week's episode of when was the shift from it was the Yankees. I mean, 90s. It was the Yankees dominated the back page, and the Yankees were always signing every player, and the Yankees got everything. We're just sitting here piddling around signing Jason Bay.
Jason Bay.
Why are the Mets? I mean, I guess it's because Uncle Stevie, we got rid of the coupons, but why have the Yankees all of a sudden become the Dodgers basically assume the Yankees throne?
Yeah. It's the difference between Hal and George and Papa George. Hal is not the baseball fan that George was. He has been more businesslike and trying to keep payroll low. He still spends money, but with George, it was never a question. Go out, get this guy. Go out, get that guy. And we loved it as Yankee fans, but when you're not making those moves anymore, you don't get as much attention. I think the last time we spent really, really big, it paid off in the end. We got, CC and I guess, Fried and all that. But when we really changed the face, when we picked up CC and Teixeira and AJ Burnett that year in 2009, that was huge. And Fried was a big signing. And, but that was a difference maker when we got those guys. And since then we just, we haven't spent a ton of money.
Yeah. I love that Fried signing.
Yeah, Fried was great. And look,
great.
That 8-year deal is going to be great. 6, 7, 8 years in. No, probably not. He'll be okay. I don't expect him to be blowing up, but
he'll be fine.
He'll be fine. You say that, but you don't know, but you're paying, you just have to overpay for pitchers. And Stearns recognizes that, and he's probably not going to do it, but that's the one area where you have to overpay. And the Yankees did it. Hopefully there's more of that. I don't think we're going to go in on Skubal. I think that we're not that far away, and with a few tweaks, we'll get there. But it starts with Bellinger. So go get him. Go get him, Cash. Even if it's a bad contract, at the end of the line, you got to pay. Don't let him walk. You can't let him walk. If you let him walk, it might be his job. And if they don't win, that's a thing I could say. Okay, this is where I might start to really look for another general manager. If you let Bellinger go, and you don't have a backup plan, or if it's Kyle Tucker and he flops, then I think it's time for, someone else to take the reins, because there's a lot of these GMs. This is what they breathe. They all come from the same factory. They all think the same way. The modern GM, right? It's Stearns and Cashman. They're twins when it comes to how they want to run this team. I think Cashman, is used to being in the bigger market, so he's used to spending a little bit more money, but it's in terms of how they view their assets, they're mirror images of each other. So I think, we just go get Bellinger and then, build from there. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us this week. Thanks again for tuning in. We will be back. Who knows? Maybe next week.
Eventually.
Maybe when the Yankees do something. I don't know. Maybe when Bellinger gets signed. But lots of offseason left, and you'll be hearing from us again soon. Follow us on Instagram at YankYourMetsPod, TikTok, and social media. Like us on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Do all the things. Subscribe. And we'll see you before the season starts. We guarantee you.
Let's record another one later tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Godspeed.